So bienvenidos and welcome to our 2021 virtual volunteer orientation. And I want to thank you all for being here. Bienvenidos. Orientación virtual para padres voluntarios. And we also are in partnership with our friends of Micheltorena. So I want to thank our friends of Micheltorena for being here today, as there are lots of opportunities for parents to participate in our community. And even though it's virtual, there are lots of avenues that you can volunteer virtually. So I'm going to be talking a little bit about school volunteering virtually, and then Foam is going to talk about ways that you can be involved. So the purpose of a school volunteer is to reinforce the classroom learning and assisting teachers in the virtual classrooms. So we can still have you support our teachers in the classrooms virtually. We also can have you support the operations of the school. So we work in tandem with Friends of Micheltorena to support the operations of our school. So you can support in that respect. Really, your job is to promote positive partnerships between home, school, and our community, and really to serve as a role model for our students by helping students develop a positive attitude about themselves, about schools, and about our communities. Erin, would you like to read in Espanol for us today, as Ms. Rios is in another meeting?
Sure, I can do it unless Alejandra wants to. Your accent is so much prettier than mine, Alejandra.
Yes, I can read it.
Gracias.
Ok, propósito del programa voluntario de la escuela. Reforzar el aprendizaje en el aula ayudando a los profesores en las aulas virtuales. Apoyar al personal escolar en el funcionamiento eficaz de las escuelas. Promover asociaciones positivas entre el hogar, la escuela y la comunidad. Servir de modelo positivo para los estudiantes al ayudar a los estudiantes a desarrollar una actitud más positiva sobre sí mismos, las escuelas y las comunidades.
Mil gracias.
Sí, de nada.
So these are some of the ways, these are not all of the ways, but these are some of the ways that we sort of brainstormed that a virtual volunteer could support our school. So we loved the idea of using the app called Quizlet. And Quizlet is a great way to support Spanish vocabulary and English vocabulary. And maybe you don't have a lot of time to devote to being in the classroom or a lot of time to devote to doing other bigger jobs, but maybe once a week you could make a Quizlet quiz for the kids, and you can share it with the teacher and the room reps and to go over the vocabulary words and English words that the classrooms are learning. So that may be just a fun and easy way for somebody to volunteer. Teachers love the idea of a mystery reader, where you could find a book that you really enjoy, or maybe there's a book that the teacher recommends, or maybe it's a book that you and your child love that you just want to share the joy of that book with the other classmates, and you could record yourself reading it, or you could join a Zoom class and read to the students. And obviously all of these are in coordination with the teacher. We would love to have something similar to our Heritage Day, but ongoing, where we would have guest speakers who could join our classes and talk about their culture, talk about their heritage, talk about their career or their hobbies, and that it isn't just one day of the year, but that we have guest speakers a lot. We loved the idea of, if there's somebody who's very science oriented, that they could maybe teach a lesson where the kids follow along at home with their families and teach a science lesson, and they send a list of easy supplies to have at the house, and then the teacher and the science helper parent lead the lesson and the kids follow along. And for us as the school leaders, we would love to have parents and students be more involved in our school-wide assembly and have it be student-oriented and student-centered. So we're looking for people to record videos for our assemblies on Monday. Cecily put out the word, so maybe some will. Maybe you're doing the 12 tools with your child. Maybe you're reciting our school chant. Or maybe you're even sharing your culture or heritage or sharing about your career. So these are just some ideas. I'm sure that you as parents may have even your own ideas of how you may want to volunteer. And I know that our teachers do too. So we are excited to be able to have virtual volunteers this year.
Okay. Ideas para voluntarios virtuales. Quizlet Vocab Helper es el ayudante con crear divertidos cuestionarios de vocabulario en español e inglés en la aplicación Quizlet y compartir el enlace con el maestro y el padre del salón con la guía de las palabras del maestro. Otra idea sería Mystery Reader, enviar videos de uno mismo leyendo un libro o simplemente unirnos a la clase en línea para leerles a los estudiantes. También sería coordinado con el maestro. Orador invitado, sería unirte a la clase en línea para compartir su cultura, carrera, pasatiempo y pasión. Sería igual a lo que hacemos una vez al año, compartimos nuestras culturas y quería integrarlo más seguido a la directora a nuestro salón. Ayudante científico, enseñar una lección o un experimento de ciencias. Envía a casa con sería pedir que enviara uno antes de hacer la lección al maestro, mandar lo que necesitan los estudiantes y para cuándo, para que otros padres puedan tener todos lo que necesitan para hacer la lección o el experimento. Videos para nuestra asamblea escolar. Cecily ha grabado unos videos, igual a unos estudiantes en nuestra escuela han grabado videos usando las dos herramientas y estamos pidiendo si otros estudiantes o papás pueden recitar las dos herramientas, compartirlo en un video y para la escuela. Gracias.
Bien, gracias. So this is how you would become a school volunteer. So this year, since you will not be actually volunteering on campus and having any sort of face-to-face interaction with students, we do not need to have anybody do a TB test. So it's a lot easier this year. So you will complete a volunteer application by visiting the volunteerapp.lausd.net website. It's a pretty simple application that you complete and fill out. Then you can email or print your application. You can either bring it to the main office or you can just email it to myself, Mrs. Rios, or even Mrs. Yanes in our main office. And then obviously attend a virtual volunteer training to just go over some sort of guidelines around being with students on Zoom. And we have 2 dates. We have one September 23rd at 3 p.m. and we also have September 30th at 5 p.m. And I'm more than happy to add some October dates if September doesn't work for some people. We always do check Megan's Law to make sure that that the person volunteering is not on the sexual offenders list. And then I go ahead and approve. And once that happens, then our main office will contact you that you've been approved. And now you can begin to coordinate with your classroom teacher.
¿Cómo ser voluntario? La directora pidió que que llenemos la solicitud de voluntario a la red que está allí, volunteerapp.lausd.net. Lo podemos también enviar por correo electrónico a ella, a Miss Ríos, y creo que nombró a otras personas en la oficina, ya que completen la fórmula o lo manden por correo electrónico. También anunció que podemos asistir una capacitación para voluntarios virtuales el 23 de septiembre a las 3 o el 30 de septiembre a las 5 p.m. Igual dice que si estas fechas no son posibles para nuestros papás, que ella puede ofrecer otras fechas y tiempos en octubre. También mencionó que la escuela verifica las aplicaciones a la ley de Megan para asegurar que los niños estén seguros. El director aprueba todas las aplicaciones. La oficina principal se comunica con usted para informarle si ha sido aprobado y que puede coordinar con los maestros del salón.
So with that, that's really the basics for our school orientation, but we also have many opportunities for you to participate in our community with foam. So I'm going to hand it over to Erin and Alejandra, who are going to be sharing about ways that you can volunteer through foam.
Thank you so much. So I'm going to start share from my screen. Oh dear, why is it not showing? Sorry, I'm looking for my screen here. Let's see. Sorry.
That's okay. Technology, it happens.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Oh, maybe if I present and then go back and share, does that work? There we go, yes. Okay, are you able to see it? It looks blurry to me.
It says has started screen sharing, but we don't see anything.
Right, okay, sorry. Let's see. I'm clicking on resume share.
Sometimes if you hit stop share and then try it again.
Ah. There we go.
There we go.
Sorry about that. Okay, so yes, we are friends of Micheltorena. Somos los amigos de Micheltorena, and we are the booster group for the school. And this is just a sampling of some of the people on our board, some of our friendly faces you will see here in this very Zoom. And I am Erin Plus Campo Amor, the co-president of FOAM. Soy Erin Plus Campo Amor, la co-presidenta de FOAM. And you can reach me at foam_pres@micheltorena.org. Y mi correo electrónico es FOM, no sé cómo decir, underscore, línea, PRES, micheltorena.org. And I just want to very briefly, recap what FOAM is about. For many of you who came to our back to school night or to our kinder social, you're already aware of this, but just to quickly, recap it, Friends of Micheltorena, or also known as FOAM, is a nonprofit 501c3 organization that is was created and run by a group of volunteer parents. And we're dedicated to supporting the education and well-being of all children at our school. And I do like to emphasize the word all, because we want to make sure that we are as inclusive as possible, that we are anti-racist, that we are supporting everyone. ¿Qué es FOAM? Los Amigos de Micheltorena es una organización 501c3 sin fines de lucro, fundada y dirigida por un grupo de padres voluntarios. Estamos dedicados a apoyar la educación y el bienestar de todos los niños en nuestra escuela. Y quiero enfatizar la palabra todos, porque queremos apoyar toda la comunidad y no solamente unos niños en vez de otros. And I would now like to introduce Alejandra, who is going to talk a little bit about her role as our outreach coordinator.
Hola, buenas tardes a todos. Mi nombre es Alejandra. Quería compartir que la razón que empezamos este título de coordinadora de alcance era porque voy a explicar. Cuando empezábamos a ver que habían padres en nuestra comunidad que se sentían muy alcanzados, muy conectados, muy incluidos, también nos dimos cuenta que al mismo tiempo habían padres que no se sentían incluidos y conectados con la comunidad. Yo cuando empecé Micheltorena, llegamos a esta escuela porque yo nací de una familia donde mi mamá trabajaba mucho y había muy pocas oportunidades para ser voluntaria o parte de la escuela y la comunidad. Entonces yo cuando empecé a ser mamá dije, quiero una escuela donde haya muchas oportunidades para los papás que trabajan, para los papás que no hablan inglés, para todos, que se sientan incluidos. Y encontré aquí gracias a gente como Erin, Angie, muchas personas que ustedes conocen que son parte de FOM, mi lugar en donde podía compartir mis ideas y compartir las ideas de mi familia, nuestros valores. Y igual quiero que eso sea su experiencia de ustedes, ya sean nuevos, ya sea que llevan años aquí. Quiero comunicarme con todos y hacerme accesible para que ustedes compartan sus ideas y cómo podemos mejorar nuestra comunidad, porque somos todos. Okay, let me translate that. I am the coordinator of outreach at FOM. And what I shared was that when I started FOM, I just felt myself heard, my ideas heard. And the reason I started Micheltorena was because I came from a family where there was very limited opportunities to be a volunteer or to feel part of a community. My mom was a working mom, a single mom, and so there was very little opportunities for her to voice herself, her opinions, her ideas, or to connect with other families. And so when I became a parent, I joined a school that provided lots of opportunity. And when I joined FOM, I felt heard. My ideas were being taken into account. However, what we noticed was that some families felt very connected and reached, and some families weren't. And so my position really exists because we want to make sure that everyone feels connected and that all your ideas are valid. Part of being a community is making decisions together and sharing our thinking together. So I think that's really what I'm here for. Mi correo está aquí, inclusion@micheltorena.org. Por favor, mándenme un mensajito si tienen ideas o si simplemente se quieren conectar. Estoy aquí para ustedes. My email is inclusion@micheltorena.org. Please email me if you have thoughts, ideas, if you want to work with me. Así, si quieren trabajar conmigo y ser parte de este equipo, o si simplemente quieren conectarse. If you just want to connect, also please just feel free to email me. We care about what you think, nos importa lo que piensan, we care about you, and we want to be in community with you. Queremos estar en comunidad con ustedes. Gracias.
Thank you so much, Alejandra. And next we have Leanne. Leanne, do you want to talk a little bit about your role as co-chair of volunteering?
Yes. My name's Leanne Malero, and my son is a 5th grader at Mitchell. So I've been volunteering there about 7 years now. And I can't tell you what a joy it is to be part of this community. I know that typically on a typical school year, we would be wanting volunteers for our festivals and our fundraisers and our pumpkin fest, our soccer games, but being limited to the computer now, our needs have changed a little. We are in need of another co-chair for volunteering. We also need some tech help. So if there are any parents out there that can help with tech, with this virtual learning with kids, that would be great and very helpful. Also, we need room reps for the neighborhood school. We don't have many room reps for those classes. So if there's any parents that would like to volunteer for that and help communicate between the teachers and the parents, we would appreciate that. And
don't forget yearbook.
Oh yes. Yes, we do need some volunteers for yearbook this year. We don't have anyone to put together our yearbook. So if there's anybody that is good with that, that would be much appreciated. That's it.
Thank you so much, Leanne. Do you want one of us to translate for you?
Please.
Oh, okay. Alejandra, do you want to do that?
Yeah, okay. No, I think I can do it. Leanne compartió que lo que escuché fue que estamos en una nueva etapa en donde ella mencionó ahorita estaríamos buscando voluntarios para eventos que tendríamos, recaudo de fondos, pero las cosas han cambiado, entonces ella está viendo todavía cómo, qué son los voluntarios que necesitamos. Mencionó que hay un equipo de tecnología donde necesitamos voluntarios que sepan cómo ingresarse a la red y puedan ayudar a otros papás a hacer lo mismo. Y está en busca de una compañera o compañero que haga que sea el co-chair. ¿Cómo se co-chair?
Co-presidenta.
Co-presidenta de voluntarios. Así que si estás interesado en ser parte de FOM, por favor mándale un mensaje a Leanne y ella te puede guiar qué es lo que es ser presidenta de voluntario. Y sí, creo que fue
Y
todo.
no te olvides yearbook. ¿Cómo se dice yearbook?
Oh, sí.
Anuario.
El,
Yo creo que es anuario, ¿no? La guía de anuario. No, no estoy segura.
el libro donde van todas las fotos de los niños que sale cada año es muy bonito, no sé si lo hayan visto ya. Lleva todas las fotos del salón, de los estudiantes. Ajá. Ella ¿is Leanne working on that?
We don't have anybody on that team. We need 2 to 3 parents to run the team. Necesitamos 2 o 3 padres, personas para ayudarnos con eso.
Gracias.
Gracias, Alejandra. Thank you, Leanne.
Thank you.
Okay, and now Sarah, you're up to talk about fundraising.
Hi, Alejandra, before I get started, would you be kind enough to translate for me? And second of all, do you prefer to do bit by bit as I go along, or is it easier for you to just do it at the end and summarize it in your own words?
I'll summarize at the end. I'd like, so you don't get cut off. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Thank you so much. Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm the co-chair of fundraising. My daughter is in 2nd grade in the dual language program, and this is my 2nd year as part of FOAM. And I hope that many of you know that one of the big responsibilities of FOAM is raising money for our school, because there is a large gap between the funding our school actually receives and the type of education that we know all of our students deserve, that we want to provide for all of our kids. So Fall Pledge Drive is coming up. It's October 5th through 24th. And historically, this has been our biggest fundraiser of the year. It's when we ask all of the parents at our school to make a personal donation to invest in our school. And we have sliding scale suggested donations based on families' household income. We know we are a very diverse community and we want to respect that. We also understand that people have lost work in our community and might need to stop donations, pause donations, and then redonate at a level that's more comfortable for their current budget, and we understand that. And usually how we get that information out to the community, you can see in this picture, we have a lot of fun, we wear costumes, and we just sort of, for lack of a better word, ambush people as they're coming into school at morning or afternoon pickup, and just engage with people. Let them know why this is so important, why we're asking people to donate, what we do with those funds, how we make those decisions. And because we can't do that this year, we do really need some help from our parent volunteer community. These are some ways we've thought you could help. If you have additional ideas, I would love to hear them. We thought parents might record a 30-second testimonial video in English or Spanish talking about why they are investing in our school and encouraging other parents to do so. You might want to host a Zoom party with other parents in your network. Maybe you haven't seen them in a while. It's a great excuse to get together, maybe share a beverage, and you can encourage them to donate. If it would be helpful for me to be there or someone else from FOAM to talk about the fundraising side of things and what we use these funds for, just so we can be really transparent, I'm happy to do that. Maybe you could just email your group of friends if we provided you with a suggested script, or even a text or a WhatsApp, just encouraging them to donate, because it is so important. The other thing that we could use volunteers for is, you might be a parent who has a really, as a career, or you have access to unique experiences where you could provide something that we could raffle off or auction off to our community to raise funds. And I'll give you an example. There is a mom in our parent community who wrote 2 new American Girl doll books for this new American Girl doll that is being unveiled soon. And they're giving her a bunch of promotional things. They're giving her 2 dolls and some books. She offered to donate those to our school so we can, I think we'll probably auction one and raffle the other just so it's a little more fair. And then she also offered to do a writer's workshop as part of that package. So if that has sparked an idea for you of something that you might be able to put together as a unique experience, we could auction or raffle it off. That would be amazing. If you have other ideas, I'd love to hear from you. Please reach out. Thank you.
Hola a todos. Sarah, I forgot, Sarah West se introdució como la presidenta de recaudo de fondos y estaba hablando de las donaciones que vienen, que se acercan, que son del 5 de octubre al 24 de octubre, que son la recaudación de fondos de otoño. Ella habló un poco acerca de a lo que estamos enfrentando ahorita porque hay como un hueco donde queda dentro de lo que podemos recaudar a medio de la escuela, lo que nos da y lo que en verdad necesitamos para poder proveer lo que proveemos en nuestra comunidad, en nuestra escuela, a nuestros estudiantes. Ella habló acerca de que típicamente mencionó, no sé si llevan años aquí, han visto que muchos de nuestros voluntarios se visten en disfraz y están ahí esperándonos cada mañana a pedir donaciones. Este año va a ser diferente porque no podemos hacer eso. No podemos estar pidiendo de cara a cara las donaciones, pero ella compartió unas ideas que han tenido y invita a que si ustedes tienen ideas de cómo podemos recaudar fondos en el otoño, que también le manden un mensaje a fundraising, que está allí en la pantalla, en micheltorena.org, y lo compartan con ella. Voy a compartir un poco de lo que ella mencionó de las ideas y de la ayuda que está pidiendo. Ella está pidiendo una donación personal. Eso es lo que hacemos cada año y está mencionando que la donación personal lo están tomando en cuenta dentro de los tiempos que estamos viviendo, que sabemos que no tenemos muchas oportunidades ahorita de trabajo para muchas personas. Entonces lo que ella formuló fue una sugerencia basada a nuestros ingresos y eso lo va a compartir cuando llegue en la temporada de recaudo de fondos. En lo que pide de ayuda es si ustedes pueden, por favor, hacer un video, pueden ayudar de esta forma, hacer un video de 30 segundos en donde mencionan por qué es que ustedes apoyan con dinero a su escuela. Eso ayudaría mucho para que otros papás también lo escuchen. También si pueden hacer una fiesta de Zoom en donde invitan amigos, igual pueden tomarse un trago y platicar acerca de quién va a donar y por qué tenemos que donar a nuestra escuela. Dentro de esa conexión de Zoom pueden hacer una fiesta y ella se hizo voluntaria, que ya sea ella o otra persona de FOM puede incluirse a esas fiestas de Zoom y venir a platicar un poco más de esta recaudación de fondo de otoño. A ver, ¿qué más? También explicó que ella platicó con una mamá que donó una muñeca. Ella es una autora de niños, escribió un libro, lo compartió con la escuela, le regalaron el libro y unas muñecas y ella lo donó a la escuela y lo donó porque sabe que una de las formas que recaudamos fondos es también hacer rifas. Entonces, si ustedes tienen algo ya sea que pueden hacer o que venden o que unas ideas de que puedan donar algo para rifar, eso también nos ayuda bastante. Si pueden hacer un taller de algo acerca de una manualidad que tengan ustedes, también lo podemos rifar. ¿Qué más? Creo que eso fue todo lo que compartió. Si algo me falta, Erin, por favor.
That was it. Just simplemente mencionar que la muñeca es de American Girl Doll.
Sí. Es de una compañía que se llama American Girl Doll, que
es bastante famosa.
Es bastante conocida.
Sí.
Sí, gracias.
Thank you, Alejandra. Thank you, Sarah. And now, Michaela, you get to talk about Pumpkin Fest. Are you still here, Michaela?
Here. I'm here.
Hey.
I'm just trying to unmute.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So Pumpkin Fest, as others have mentioned, like Leanne and Sarah, we can't do things in person this year, and most people are not trick-or-treating, so we have to be creative in how we can celebrate. So traditionally, Pumpkin Fest was kind of a celebration at the end of the fall pledge drive. So we want to still have something, so we are trying to think about how we can translate the things we did in Pumpkin Fest to being virtual. So some of the things that could potentially translate are having the actors who were in the haunted house perform skits and even pre-record these skits that could be played during sort of a scheduled Zoom meeting with different things happening at different times. Other ideas that we had were having the art project that was traditionally done by Miss Molly and Vilma Bueno, have them lead some kind of simple art project that's Halloween themed or fall themed that wouldn't require too many supplies that kids could do at home. Another would be, instead of the bake sale, to have people decorate cookies or decorate something at home that's like a baked good or something along those lines. So basically, we're trying to come up with as many things that are similar to the Pumpkin Fest and create a schedule where people could tune in for whichever activities they want to participate in. Another component will be having people potentially dress up in their costumes and doing some kind of costume parades. We want to coordinate this with Miss Secularian to see how we can do that. Another idea to sort of tie into the fundraising is to, you know, for the families who are able to donate $100 as a minimum, we would give some kind of pumpkin decorating kit so they could get their own pumpkin or maybe more than one pumpkin and some things to decorate it with. So those are just some of our preliminary ideas. So we are really wanting anyone who has any sort of inkling of participating in these, pre-recording a session, teaching how to bake something, teaching how to decorate something, teaching how to create your own costume, make a mask, any of those things would be awesome, and we would love to work with you.
Thank you, Michaela. And I forgot to ask, are you going to translate yourself, or did you want one of us to
If
translate?
Alejandra wants to do it, she's doing such a good job. I get a little bit stage fright.
Sorry, were you staying on top of all that, Alejandra? Are you good?
No, because I got so excited.
Do you need?
Yes.
I can jump in. I can jump in if she needs me to.
Okay.
Did you catch it, Erin? Are you okay? Translate?
I have to admit, I should have been taking notes. It was a lot.
Okay, well, I think
I can try too, and you guys can correct me.
Okay, do you want, Michaela, why don't you, since it's a list, why don't you start by saying the first thing on the list, and then maybe Alejandra can jump in and flush it out.
Okay, so it's the Pumpkin Festival, which traditionally we're trying to do at the end of Fall Pledge Drive.
Michaela es la persona que está encargada del Festival de Calabazas, y ella va a leer una lista y está compartiendo la fecha, que será el 24 de octubre.
Yeah, so how we foresee doing it is to still do it on the weekend. So it actually, Halloween falls on a Saturday. So we would create a schedule of different activities that people could tune in for.
Ella está compartiendo que vamos a continuar con la tradición de hacer el Festival de Calabazas el fin de semana, y ella está formulando ahorita ideas, un calendario, no un calendario, ¿cómo se dice? Un horario de las actividades que ocurrirán este día.
So different things that we might have would be actors that have been in the haunted house in the past could perform some kind of small drama or a small skit, telling spooky stories. So we have a great parent who tells spooky stories or storytelling. So those are a couple of ideas.
Está compartiendo que una de las ideas que tienen es a pedirle a las personas que fueron voluntarios en la Casa de Espantos el año pasado que vengan a las clases de Zoom y compartan una historia de miedo o hagan una apariencia en el salón.
Other ways people could participate is helping lead an art project or a cooking project, a baking project that's related to Halloween, or decorating project like making a mask or something along those lines.
Oh, yes,
Or maybe sugar skulls for Dia de los Muertos.
Yes,
yeah.
that would
So,
be beautiful.
Micaela está compartiendo que en el pasado hemos tenido voluntarios como Vilma, que ha hecho artesanías, y Mesa Calerian entró, dijo sí, como las calaveritas de azúcar que decoramos. Entonces ellos están pidiendo quién podría ser un voluntario para dar talleres sobre Zoom, haciendo una manualidad con los niños.
And then the last bit is, well, I guess two things. One thing is if you have any other ideas that we haven't mentioned, we'd love to hear them. And then the last thing is that we would like to reward people for donating. So an arbitrary amount is $100. So if people are able to donate $100, and that could be compiled from different family members. But if they can meet a minimum of $100, then we'll gift them a pumpkin decorating kit. So it would include a pumpkin, maybe more than one pumpkin, and other things to decorate with.
Ella está pidiendo una donación a las familias que puedan. Está pidiendo una donación de $100 y no tiene que ser una familia, pueden ser varias familias que tú organices y puedan pedir entre todos, hagan $100 y ella daría una recompensa, un regalito de gratitud que serían una calabacita para que puedan decorarlo en la familia como un aprecio de su donación. Y también que si tienen otras ideas, por favor, ideas acerca de qué podemos hacer este año para el Festival de Calabazas, mándenle un mensajito a cielo.micaela@gmail.com.
Yes,
Gracias.
please email her at the email on screen, cielo.micaela@gmail.com. Thank you, Micaela. Thank you so much. Thank you, Alejandra. And the last thing I just want to share is that there's lots of ways to learn about what FOAM is up to. We have a website, micheltorena.org. We have an email address, so you can reach us at friendsofmicheltorena@gmail.com. We have a YouTube channel. This video will be posted on the YouTube channel, which is Micheltorena Elementary School. We have an Instagram account and a Facebook account. So you can follow us in all these different channels, and all these different places and social media. We share lots of different content there, lots of information. You can also sign up for our newsletters, which we send out approximately once a week. If you go to micheltorena.org, at the bottom of the screen, there's a little box that you can check, that you can enter your email address into and subscribe to our newsletter. So please reach out to us, follow us, and consider us a resource. Entonces, lo que estaba diciendo es que Amigos de Micheltorena tiene varias formas de comunicar con ustedes. Tenemos un sitio micheltorena.org, donde pueden encontrar mucha información. También pueden mandarnos un correo electrónico a friendsofmicheltorena@gmail.com. También tenemos un canal de YouTube, Micheltorena Elementary School, donde pueden encontrar videos como ese mismo que estamos grabando. Y también tenemos cuentas en Instagram y también en Facebook, donde pueden seguirnos y ver videos y fotos simpáticas. Y también pueden subscribe. ¿Cómo se dice subscribe? Inscribirse. Ajá. Pueden inscribirse a nuestro... ¿Perdón?
Suscribirse.
Ok. A nuestro boletín que mandamos una vez a la semana. Lo pueden encontrar en la parte abajo de la pantalla en micheltorena.org. Pueden poner su correo electrónico y entonces suscribirse a nuestro boletín y así recibir más información. Y queremos que nos consideren como un recurso para la comunidad. Muchísimas gracias. Y ahora, now I'm going to stop sharing so that I can go back to Nicole, or to Ms. Sakalarian.
So thank you so much to the Friends of Micheltorena for joining us today and talking about all the wonderful ways that we can join their organization and participate today. or participate in our school community. And also, I hope that you consider becoming a virtual volunteer for the school. So remember that there's an avenue to become a volunteer for the school, which does require to complete the application with the district. To volunteer with Friends of Micheltorena, you do not need to complete the application with the district. But if you do want to participate in virtual classrooms, or you want to do a reading in the classroom with the kids, if you're going to be in our virtual classrooms, you do need to complete that. So I hope that you consider joining our school as a volunteer, and I hope you consider participating with FOAM. So I'm going to stop recording right now.